today we're gonna make some breakfast egg cups. So it's really easy. It's gonna be veggie packed with our red bell pepper, and we'll have some spinach in it. So it's a great way to start your morning with a little bit of protein and a little bit of vegetable. Pair that with an English muffin and it's a pretty good breakfast. So we'll jump right in. First, we'll go ahead and dice our bell pepper. You could also put this into a chopper if you wanted smaller, less uniform pieces. It's not really going to matter, it's whatever your preference is. Next, we're going to do our spinach, which is going to be about 3/4 of a cup. Now we'll chiffonade the spinach like they recommend by stacking it and rolling it. Then we'll discard those stems. I bought a bundle of spinach, so it's bigger pieces of spinach and there's more stem. So I'm going to set those aside. Now that I've finished chiffonading the spinach, it's pretty close to, I'm going to guess it's pretty close to 3/4 cup of spinach if it were pressed into a measuring cup. And then our bell pepper is right here. So we'll go ahead and start mixing the egg and milk and cheese and salt and pepper. So I like to use powdered milk. It's great for having around in case you're running low on milk or you run out of milk. And it's non-fat, so it lasts for a really long time. Especially right now, if you're trying to avoid going out to the store, this can be a great cooking option. It's not so great for drinking necessarily, but it's good to have on hand if you're cooking. I usually the recommendation is about 1/3 of a cup of powdered milk to make a cup of milk, to reconstitute to a cup of milk. If you're comfortable just kind of guessing, it doesn't really matter if you put too much because then it kind of just becomes a little bit more concentrated, like a high protein milk. So if you've ever had a concentrated milk purchased in the store, it's essentially what you're doing. But when I start my powdered milk, if you add all of the amount of liquid at one time, it will potentially not mix very well, or it can be kind of messy. So I kind of start by making a paste so I can ensure that there's not a lot of lumps, just because I don't like a lot of lumps. And that's what I've started here, and then I'll add the rest of the water to make it 1/4 cup of milk, and we'll put it in with our eggs in our bowl. Eggs are all added, so we'll give them a whisk. Add in our salt and our pepper. And that's 1/8 teaspoon of each. I'm going to do 2 ounces of reduced fat cheese, so it'll be a little higher protein, a little more calories because of that, but I wanted more cheese than just 1 ounce of cheese, so I think that's perfectly fine. Reduced fat cheese is a great way to cut calories because it's lower in fat, obviously, but you still get all of the protein and benefits of dairy just by cutting a little bit of calories, or with cutting a little bit of calories. And it's better than a non-fat cheese because non-fat cheese doesn't have the ooey gooeyness properties that we like with cheese. So it's more like plastic, and it definitely loses some of its flavor because of the lack of fat. That's where we get the flavor. So this is a good compromise, and that's what I usually like to keep around. That's all stirred together, so we'll add in our veggies. Once you get that incorporated, then go ahead and get your muffin tin ready. I have opted to use the silicone liners because I like these. They're easy to clean up, and they make sure that it doesn't stick in your pan, and it eliminates the use of having to spray your pan with non-stick spray, which can leave a residue on your pan. Now I'm going to start pouring these in with the help of a spoon. These cups are supposed to be about 3/4 of the way full. Most of them are closer to being full, so I'm going to go back and redistribute this. So I've taken my veggie cups out of the oven after about 22 minutes, and they're really pretty, veggie packed, and a good protein breakfast. So I hope you enjoy.